All right, what's up guys? It's Matt's Boost, and if you're watching this video, that means you probably got a C6 Corvette or you've been thinking about buying a C6 Corvette. Well, in this video, I'm gonna tell you how to make this bad boy fast, faster, and the fastest. Let's talk about it right here, right now. All right guys, so if you got a C6 Corvette, maybe you've been thinking about buying one, you're thinking about mods, you're thinking about how to increase the horsepower on this bad boy, let's go through it right now, man. So for the C6 Corvette, for a stage, we'll call it a stage 1 build, I would call that full bolt-on. So full bolt-ons for the C6 Corvette, that's gonna include long tube headers, exhaust, intake manifold, throttle body, you don't really need it. That's gonna include a camshaft, and an intake box. That's really the main things. And a tune, you gotta throw a tune with that. So once you add headers, exhaust, and a cam intake, you've gotta throw a tune on it. So that's gonna be stage 1. With something like that, man, you can probably make between 450, 500 wheel. That's gonna be full bolt-ons on a C6, LS2, LS3. The LS3 is gonna make a couple horsepower more, but overall they're gonna be pretty close. Also, a side note, if you have the Corvette with the LS3, you don't really have to do the intake upgrade. You can still do the airbox, but you don't have to do the aftermarket intake. The stock intakes are pretty good. If you've got an LS2, you can do a fast intake or something, maybe a BTR intake. But if you've got an LS3, save the $1,000, put it towards other mods. Now here's the thing, with that stage 1 setup, you're probably gonna need a clutch if it's a manual. If it's an automatic, I think about a torque converter. And you really don't have to do a lot with the fuel system at this point. But when you go stage 2, which we're gonna talk about it right now, you're gonna have to upgrade your fuel system. Either do a drop-in fuel pump, or you can do a booster pump. In stage 2, we've got the full bolt-ons. Now we're gonna do a power adder. We're gonna add some nitrous, or a turbo, or twin turbo, or what most guys do, that's gonna be a supercharger. So for stage 1, you've got all of your basic bolt-ons. Stage 2, we're gonna add a power adder to it. Like I said, that's gonna be nitrous, turbo, twin turbo, or supercharger. But once we do that, we've definitely gotta upgrade the torque converter clutch, and we've got to upgrade something with the fuel system. That's going to include the fuel pumps, booster pumps, and bigger fuel injectors. So, and also along with that, it keeps adding up. You've got to do another tune. So you do your full bolt-ons, then you throw a power adder like, I've mentioned it 10 times, turbo, twin turbo, supercharger nitrous, then you get another tune for it. Once you do that too, you probably need to change the plugs, do the coil pack, do some basic maintenance items, because if you're going to run something boosted, you need to run a slightly colder plug. I'll tell you what, whenever you're building something like this, call up NGK. They make the best spark plugs on the market for something like this. Tell them exactly what you're going to do. Look at the online forums. They'll tell you exactly what you need depending on the power adder that you're going with. All right, man, we're going through a lot in this video, so let's do a quick recap before we get to stage 3 and make this thing crazy fast. Stage 1, that's going to be full bolt-ons, cam, long tube, exhaust, intake, possibly an upper intake. That's probably going to put you around 450, 500 with the tune. And then you go stage 2, you do a supercharger turbo, twin turbo, single turbo, add a better fuel system. You're probably going to make 600-ish wheel, maybe 650, 750-ish. It depends on how much boost you run, what size pulleys. There's a few factors in there. And you're still on stock bottom end, you're still a stock transmission. But now we're going to talk stage 3, where stock bottom end and stock transmission is going to be questionable. So stage 3 is going to be when you've got full bolt-ons, now you've got a power adder, but we're going to add even more boost to that power adder. So if you've got a nitrous system, then maybe we're going to go from running a 150 shot to a 300 shot, up to a 500 shot if you want to get crazy. And then for a turbocharged system, we're going to go from running 6 to 8 to maybe 10 pounds of boost to 15 pounds plus. Same thing with the supercharger. So now stage 3, we're going to up the boost, we're going to up the nitrous. Once we got the full bolt-ons though, we've got to have some supporting mods for that power. Now we're going to need to build the bottom end of the engine. You can run a stock LS2, stock LS3 at 1,000 wheel. I've seen it done, but man, you would hate to spend all that time and money, get this baby built, and the first 2 ribs, you bend a rod or burn a hole through the pit, whatever. If you got a good tune, you should be okay, but you're really pushing the stock motor and stock transmission once you're over 700 wheel. I'm telling you right now. So stage 1, we got the bolt-on. Stage 2, we had the power adder. Stage 3, we're going to add even more boost. We're going to do a drop-in 4 fuel system. We're going to go E85, at least 1,000 cc injectors, preferably 1,300 cc. And then we're going to look to make 800 to 1,000 wheels. So it's that simple. But no, man, I've had some guys say, you know, when I'm doing mods for my Corvette, how should I do it? What order should I go in? And that's the best order I recommend. Stage 1, get all your bolt-ons. That's going to get you kind of comfortable with the new power level. Probably, with stage 1 bolt-ons, you're going to probably get an extra 100, 125 horsepower, full bolt-ons. Stage 2, that's going to get you used to boost. You're going to be making, you know, you're going to go from stock 400 wheel to probably 600 wheel now. So now you're making about 200, 250 more horsepower. And then stage 3, you're going 800 wheel. That baby's going to be ripping. So it's good to have a little bit of experience and some power levels slightly below that just to get you prepared for what 1,000 horsepower feels like. So either way, man, I want to shoot a quick video. Let's talk about how to mod your Corvette, man. You know what, let's do prices real quick. If you're wondering how much all of this is going to cost, let's talk about it. So stage 1, I'm just going to list it out. Stage 1 camshaft, that's $300, but you got to pay. You got to pay to get it installed, which is expensive. You're looking at about $1,200 to get installed. So $1,500 on just a cam. And that's why when a lot of guys say, do you have a cam in that car? Do you have a cam? They're not only wondering because it sounds good, but then they also know that you've done internal engine work and you put some real money into the car. So a cam's $1,500, an air box is $300. You can put that on in your garage in 15 to 30 minutes. You got to get long tube headers. Those are going to run you $1,000. They'll probably cost you about $700 to put on, $600. You got to get some exhaust. That's going to run $1,000. You've got to pay someone probably $400 to put that exhaust on. You know, one thing I didn't mention is that when you're upgrading in stages, guys, sorry, I'm getting a lot off track, but when you go to stage 2, stage 3, you've also got to think about an upgraded wheel tire setup as well. So that's one of the biggest things, is that when you add more power, you've got more components. So stage 1, I listed out the prices. This is how much total would be right here. I had to do the math back in the editing, so here it is. And then stage 2, you're going to take all the money from stage 1, but then you're going to add a power adder like a supercharger, turbo, or nitrous. Nitrous is going to be the cheapest way to get there. For a nitrous kit, you can probably get one for $1,000. If you're going to do a supercharger, you're going to spend anywhere between $5,000 and $8,000. If you're going to do a turbo, twin turbo, you're going to spend anywhere again between $5,000 and $8,000, maybe $10,000. So, and then installation on that. Honestly, installation on the turbo, twin turbo is going to run you $3,000 to $5,000. Installation on the nitrous kit's probably going to run you about $1,000. You got to get it tuned. Also, tunes on the dyno generally run anywhere from $800 to $1,500. So let's list those prices up here for a stage 2 build. I'll do the math and the editing. And then stage 3 is more PSI, more boost. The name of the game, just more boost, more fuel, and let's list that price right here. Either way, man, I want to talk about some prices. You know, it's great to talk about modding your car, but not enough guys talk about how much does this cost. So, you know, go to stage 1, it's going to cost you about this much. Going to stage 2, it's about this much. And going to stage 3, 800 wheel plus, is going to be about this much. Anyways, man, it's a little rainy out, but I want to shoot a quick video. Appreciate you guys watching. We got the twin turbo C6 Corvette here. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got the twin turbo Corvette. Make sure you like and subscribe for more twin turbo Corvette content, BMW content. We'll see you guys on the next one.